denied President Trump's latest effort to overhaul America's legal immigration system, charging international students $100,000 if they want to stay in the United States and work after graduating. The Department of Homeland Security is weighing a plan, according to the report in the Wall Street Journal. That fee would be part of the Optional Practice Training, or OPT program, which allows student visa holders to extend their stay in order to get work experience. Now, this comes just weeks after a judge blocked a $100,000 fee for H-1B visas. A DHS official did not deny that the proposal was being considered, saying, quote, "We are always having conversations about how to use all tools in our arsenal to protect the integrity of our legal immigration system." We were told, and often are, that the immigrants that they want to get rid of are the ones that are violent, are poor, are, sapping the American system. Why are they creating more barriers for the best and brightest to come to this country? I was looking at a list, the top 50 AI companies, more than half of them were founded by foreigners, many of whom benefited from this visa program.
Yeah, I think it's because they want to correct a problem right now in the American workforce and our education system, where we don't have enough American students who are going into, in particular, the STEM categories of majors, so that they can end up getting these jobs that are really high paying. That we are essentially incentivizing colleges and universities to get foreign students because they make a whole lot more money when they are able to bring them over. They're paying much higher tuition than subsidized in-state. And then they end up getting high-paying jobs that aren't going to American citizens. There is, I don't know whether or not the $100,000.
Educate Americans, so that they can.
Yes, isn't that the actual
meritocratic solution to this problem?
There are only so many seats in these programs at schools, and if you are incentivizing bringing in foreign students over American students, you're going to run into this problem. There's a larger problem in high school.
Just to be clear, these are students who have already graduated, right?
Yeah, but this is for the long term.
They're going into the workforce. Mm-hmm. These are literally the people who are creating enormous amounts of wealth and productivity in this country on behalf of Americans. And a lot of them become Americans.
These individuals who are graduating from schools in the United States of America and going out and getting these jobs are not stealing jobs from American citizens. That is a falsehood. That's a myth. What we are doing in this country, though, and what we have done, Democrat or Republican alike, and we have not overhauled it in the last 30 years, is violently miseducating our children. If you want to have a robust workforce, you know how you start? You invest in early childhood education, right? Because there's a return on investment. Black, white, Democrat, Republican, Mississippi, or New York. When you educate a 3-year-old child, you actually will see that child go throughout and matriculate through the public education system and come out better to compete for these jobs. The other thing that happens is, yes, we don't do the resources like you're talking about. I mean, we could actually fix this problem if we invest in STEM. And we're talking about invest in STEM in poor rural areas. Yep. We're talking about in Louisiana, Alabama. My daddy's biggest problem right now is when he goes to the McDonald's to get his ice cream cone he should not be eating, he has to order it on a machine. He can't even talk to someone right now. Though that is the problem that we're having. And as a black man, I can tell you that we have been left behind in a lot of industries, and we're about to be left behind in the AI boom.
It's high-tech industry where we need people. We have a labor shortage in that. We should be attracting talent from around the world. I think there's a way to marry your two positions. Philosophically, I agree. The United States needs to attract talent from abroad and keep it here. And to a certain extent, that this is blanket. It's a little too overgeneral, and it'll discourage that. Jason's right, that there's a lot of people coming from other countries that take advantage of our system, that are attracted here because they pay the full freight, whereas American students don't. And take advantage because they, by virtue of, for example, Chinese students who come here, who specifically are not allowed to stay here. They're going back home, and they're going to bring their knowledge and what
that doesn't apply.
Back home.
That's
why it should be sector-specific, even nation-specific, that this blanket effort to reduce the amount of people who come here and stay here is going to be overbroad and miss the target. It should be much more narrow, but there's a use for it. I agree with Jason.
Well, this is also America hustling backwards at its finest.
That's what I was trying to say.
Look, I understand that there are concerns about what you were pointing out in terms of people staying here, quote, taking advantage of the system. But not only have we not invested in early childhood education, the fact that the cost of college and education in itself is staggeringly high. Like, you can't tell people, okay, these people are taking your jobs, but then make it completely impossible for them to go to these universities and create a better life and become contributors to our society, and especially in this area. And not only that, like, at some point, people are going to stop buying that somebody else is the reason I'm not further ahead. Like, how many times are we going to keep selling that entire propaganda? It's like, no, maybe the reason we're not ahead is because we haven't done the work to invest in our own people. That's really who should be at fault here.
Coming up next for us, one of the left's most polarizing voices is speaking out about the litmus test that he believes candidates will face in 2028.